You psychonauts out there, it's your boy PFRESH.
It's your boy Chris Floydo. So I have had some requests to do a video with another person. It's a rainy night tonight and we ain't got shit to do, so I thought it'd be a great time to talk about PFRESH's first psychedelic experiences. So in this video we're going to talk all about that. So go ahead, take it away. Tell them why, or what made you want to do psychedelics.
Well, as you said in previous videos that I am facing some medical challenges. My kidneys are not working and I'm currently doing dialysis treatment for it. Waiting to get on a transplant list. And that's really what got the ball rolling for me with psychedelics. The first psychedelic I ever did was LSD, because you kept talking about it. You just recently experienced it.
I remember when I first did acid, I was trying to get him to do it because I knew he'd benefit from it, and I knew it, him going through all this fear and not really knowing what's going to happen. I was like, maybe the psychedelic experience could be beneficial and eye-opening to you.
Yeah.
And then he always blew it off, but then eventually he was like, fuck it, let's do it.
Yeah, I was like, nope, never doing that. Never. But one night, our homie Burn One came over. He had some tabs, and he's like, "You're getting one." Jess was getting one. Your girl.
Yeah,
and
I had to work in the morning, so I couldn't. But
yeah,
I was there for him.
So we dropped it, and I remember I was just like, I took it out of my mouth, and I was like, "Nope, not doing it." And then Bones was like, "Tough luck, bro. There's nothing you can do. It's already, it's a done deal. That's all she wrote." I was like, "Man, no way." So I'm already freaking out at that point. I just barely taken it. Nothing's happening yet. So I'm walking in this dude's living room, left, right, left. What's going to happen? What am I going to see? What's going to happen? So the first thing I noticed was his blinds were they were swaying a little bit. And they had little patterns on them. I was like, whoa. And I go to B1 and I'm like, yo, do you see that? And he's just sitting on the couch, just chill, bro. And I'm like, alright. And so the next thing I noticed, I was walking around, I see the floor. It's coming up a little bit, and I was like, "Whoa!" I'm like, and that I've never seen anything like that. I'm seeing little fucking shapes coming out of the ground, and I'm like, I know you see that, Burn One, and he's just just chill. He's like, sit down, just chill. I'm like, all right. So I sit down, and I lay back, and I feel this feeling, this uncontrollable feeling, and I look at the ceiling. And then the ceiling just looks like a whole bunch of heads going back and forth, all slow, and it looks like a river's flowing. And I was like, what? And I'm just by that time, I'm freaking out. And I'm like, I need to go walk outside because everything's just all topsy-turvy. And I go outside. I walk around for 20 minutes, just looking at everything. Everything's just going. I go outside, the rocks are scattering everywhere, just vivid colors. And I was like, whoa. And I'm trying my hardest not to freak the fuck out, but I was freaking out, I was a little kid and shit. And finally get back into the room, and he has this Seedless poster that has a fucking weird face on it, a devil face, and anywhere I went, it was just looking at me, and I'm like, oh my god, I don't like that. And so, I left out of this apartment again, walked around a couple more times, and I finally get back inside the house, and I'm just I'm sitting there trying to collect my thoughts. Everything's just anything I could think of is just coming to my head, and I'm I can't control it. And then there's this part where I was just I was so far gone. I was just looking at my arms and everything. I was so far gone, and I look over at B1. B1's just chilling, and I just look at him, and I'm like, I'm not coming back from this. There's no way. And he's just chill. You want to watch a movie? They put on Oh Brother.
Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Yeah, that fucking movie. And I love the movie. I've seen it 100 times. And they put it on, and I'm watching it, but it's not the same movie. It's just it's the same movie. I can tell the parts, but the pictures are so crazy, and I'm just I want to watch it, but then I don't because some of it's just so intense. And so I'm sitting there, I'm trying to watch it, and I'm just damn, I'm so fucking gone, so gone, never been so gone in my entire life. And then This is like hours later, and then finally, there's this part where this girl starts singing. She sings this like "I'll Fly Away" song, and literally, as she's starting to sing it, like I feel like I'm like being lifted, and I'm just like relief. Finally, like for real. It's just like, oh, this feels so nice, and I start getting like, all right, I'm okay now. Like hell yeah, and then like I start peaking and just like, oh, I'm feeling amazing, like so happy, and like I look over at B1 and I'm like, this is why you guys do acid. And he looks over at me and he's just like, yep, that's why we do acid. And like right when he says it, I just feel more fucking like all this acceptance around me, and I'm just like, this is why you guys do acid. I'm like just so hyped about it. And he's like, yeah, and I'm like, oh my god. And I tell him, I was like, dude, stand up, and I hug him, like, and I freaking like, we just have this moment, like seriously, it was the best moment in my entire life, and like, it was so great. And like that was the first time I did LSD. And
the second time I told him to come over and drop with me and our homie Slam Pappy. So we dropped this acid and we start like coming up, and we go to the park, and then we're like, this park has a river in it and there's lights all over, and like on like it reflects off the water and it just looked like diamonds. And I was like, Preston's gonna fucking love this. So I walk over to him and I'm like, yo, look at this water, bro. And he was looking, he's just like, what the fuck? And so I walk off, and then we find these sculptures with neon lights, right? And then you can't access them; they're behind glass, but they look so fucking sick when you're tripping. And Slime Pappy's like, "This is where the gods chill." And yeah, so then we go back, and what happened after that? Slime Pappy left and went to that park.
Yeah, and then the sun started coming up. Me and Joe were just chilling, fucking, we're chilling, and then we're watching the sun come up. We're just talking.
We were having this crazy conversation, like one of those psychedelic conversations where it's like talking about like life and origins of man and like what's out there, and it was an awesome way to come down from this acid trip.
Yeah.
And then something really interesting happened after this acid trip. Go ahead.
All right. So after this trip, I go to a doctor's appointment, like seriously, just like off the trip, like maybe a couple hours off the trip, and I'm feeling like in awe, like damn, like you know when you get off of acid, you're just like you look at the world different.
It's
like
the afterglow, bro.
Yeah, something. Anyway, fucking So I go to my appointment and I'm talking to my sister. I was like, dude, I did acid like last night, and like she's like, what? And I was just like, yeah. And like she's like, you got a doctor's appointment, it's gonna screw up everything. I was like, all right. So he does my blood pressure. My blood pressure is normally high, like, and he comes back and I'm like, he's like, yo, I don't know what you did, but it's normal. Like, are you taking medication? I'm like, no, not yet. They told me not to. Not yet, because I'm getting all this stuff done, so they haven't prescribed me medication yet. They're like, yeah, like, you're normal. And I was like, what? No way. And I'm just like, I just felt like the most positive day I've ever had in my entire life. And I was just like, that's amazing. Like, the gains you get out of it, there's nothing like it on this earth that I've found but without psychedelics. Like, you can get it there to the point where you're just like,
you'd be dying and you don't give a shit.
Pretty much, yeah. Like, that's what I told my sister that day, actually. I said, sister, you know what? I call my sister, yeah. I said, she's like, how do you feel right now? Because, like, I've never seen you like this. And I'm like, I feel like if I died today, like, I'd be okay with it. Like, knock on wood, I don't want to die, but that day, that's how I felt. That's the best way I could describe it. I felt good. Like,
dude, I remember being an atheist and taking psychedelics and then having DMT and realizing that death is only the next level of consciousness. Dude, that feeling was amazing, dude. Like, knowing there's nothing to worry about. Like, if you die, you're completely fine.
That's how it felt. Like, seriously, like, I've had, like, a big, like a fear of death and just not knowing. But I feel like LSD gave me like a peace of mind. Like everything's gonna be all right. Like everything's gonna be chill. Like for real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. So I guess we're gonna call this video. That was PFRESH's first psychedelic experiences. Thanks for coming on, my first guest.
Not the last video though.
By all means, there's gonna be plenty more with this fool, so get comfortable with him.
Also, we will be. Should we tell him about that?
No, we'll save that.
We'll save
we got some shit planned for you guys.
For you guys, for
But,
the viewers.
Yeah, so that's it. Peace, love, and smoke DMT. Have a good one.